Hey guys, so a quick little bit just before this video starts. Have a look at his doctrines and have a look at mine. You'll notice why I do the build with these doctrines instead of doing what I use with my doctrines. So jumping on into the match, guys. Normally with this match I was going to go with my improved Banshee Scream build, where I put 3 Dire Avengers out and 2 Banshees out, or a Banshee out later once I've got my portal, whatever it's called, the warrior portal. But because I saw his doctrines, let's see if I can see him here. Yeah, so he had the pin and he had the, wait, no, is that right? I swear he had the flames. Oh, maybe, yeah, it is. But yeah, he had the pin there, so I was like, okay, well, yeah, no, I'm not bringing out Banshees now. So I decided I'd go with a different build and go ranged instead, and have little bits of Banshee and Scorpions in the background if I needed them. So I decided to go 2 builders first this time and chuck them both out onto the points. As you can see here, builder and builder, putting a listing post down, and I've got my 2 Dire Avenger squads out to these bottom and top points here. I'm going to bring these first one up over here now. Let's speed it up. Following camera? Here we are. So he's attacking that first point, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I can counter that. So I bring these guys down and I hit them. And I don't really need to watch them because they do have the extra shield, so they're going to win that fight whether I lose some or not. I see him not capping that point there, so I keep my units there just in case he decides to drop pod on top of me. And I keep distant. So, what else we got? Okay, so he's attacking the middle point there as well, and he does end up losing most of that squad there. So I end up just trying to see if I can chase down that last one unit, which I don't believe I end up being able to do. I put my Dire Avengers in the cover there so that he can't shoot into them, which ends up being very viable in this match actually. Building the warrior portal up front so that I don't have to go and reinforce too far back to the base. And at this point I'm sort of just trying to get enough requisition so that I can build the 3rd turret. But I'm also, okay, you see he's got his builder there, so he's actually checking up on where I am and what I've got there. Which means, yeah, that his builder is in that cover just there, and I chucked down the same sort of thing, but I should have actually chucked down, I don't know, bench, although I don't have it, my mistake. Yeah, the Space Marines have a servo skull so they can actually see what's where. So he's got them there, so I put my Scorpions down. He does drop the drop pod, which actually misses. So I try to keep my Dark Reapers out of the way, because otherwise he's going to hurt them too much. So he stops chasing them there. I put my Avengers down the cover again, get the Scorpions and do as much damage as I can. The Reapers in the background doing a lot of damage too. So this part was all just about positioning, where I had to keep my units in the right spots and he can't do anything about it. So he does end up losing both squads of Assault Marines there, which is quite good. I think he lost them, did he? Yeah, he did. He didn't end up getting a chance to jump them out. So because I know that he's got really no units now because he spent it all on the Assault Marines, I decided to go in and attack his shield generator. Meanwhile, as soon as I'm doing that, I'm still trying to get my my units out, because that's just as important. Make sure that while you're doing something out the front that you're always still making units back at base. So important, guys. Okay, so what do we got now? I think I'm still waiting to build this 3rd tower. I've also got a webway gate down the bottom there. And I'm going to build another one just in here, as you can see on the map, just in there, fairly soon. Attacking at the top here, I'm going to try and push into his point, and at the same time, I notice that he's got his building there, so I'm like, ooh, I might just try and pop into that one. He does actually attack me with all of his Assault Marines there again, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to back out of that one a little bit. And I'm going to send my Scorpions in at the same time so that they can do any little bits of damage there. Keeping my range units at the back so that he can't do a whole lot to them at the same time. Okay, so he does keep trying to pull his units back a bit so that he doesn't get too much damage on them. I managed to move my units in time. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I gotta get all of them out. And as you notice, at the exact same time, I had my Scorpions down on his shield. and I took his shields out. So now I have enough resources that I can build a few extra Dark Reapers, and I can also build eventually that third strategic point.
Infantry health improving infantry weaponry.
Another viable thing here that I ended up doing was the placement of all of my Dire Avengers here, because if we swap over to his side, you will notice that he's got Assault Marines right there, but he couldn't actually see anything there, and that's why he attacked in. And so now I'm not planning on chasing him with too much. I think it's just the Scorpions. Yeah, so I just keep the Scorpions there. And you'll notice later on in the match that I try to keep my Dire Avengers at that top point out of the way of his vision there. They're still trying to harass this top bit just here, and I keep my Scorpions in the back. And as soon as I see those Assault Marines come in, well, I know to drop my Scorpions on top of him. Trying to get my Dire Avengers into cover and out of the way. Trying to keep my Scorpions alive as well, and dropping that Warp, or the Wasp, or whatever it's called. Is it Wasp? Hunt, sorry. I don't know why I thought it was Wasp. Putting them back so that I don't lose them. Dropping Mako as well, so that I have a little bit of extra damage there on the field. I managed to get majority, if not all, of my Dire Avengers out, which is really, really good. I'm happy with that. And just got Mako there, just sort of bullying a little bit from a distance, and he doesn't seem to be doing too much. Oh, he moved him out now, but he wasn't doing too much about it. I believe I end up losing Mako here because I get a surround on her, which is really annoying, but not much you can do about it. I thought the stasis thing would have worked, but it didn't, so that's alright. We can get her back soon. I have dropped another portal, and I've also put that point down, as you can see on the minimap. And at this point I'm pretty much just trying to keep my units in the back, trying to get some more units out and do what I can. I'm also dropping the Infinity Portal so that I can get my Wraith, what are they called? Wraith Guard? I can't see yet, but I'm getting my Wraith Guard and my Wraith Blades out, if that's what they're called. So as you saw there, he didn't actually see all of my units in the background there, so he thought it would be fine to attack him. And he's still got one rogue Assault Marine there that, I don't know what it was doing, but it ends up dying. And as you can see, I've got a lot of requisition here and I'm not using it. That's because I'm waiting for these Wraith Guard and Wraith Knight. So I'm just trying to go around the map at some points, trying to just get that little bit of extra power on each thing. As you can see, I got one there. I haven't got this one because I didn't see it, I don't think. And I'm getting that one as well. What's that called? The resource upgrade. So I'm just getting all of that sort of stuff. As you can see, I'm bringing my Scorpions down here to attack the second generator. And he doesn't actually have anything down here just yet, so I end up just doing as much as I can, and I'm watching just so that if he does bring anything down, well, I can get out just in time. He does drop that, so I managed to move out, and he just doesn't get anything off. So it was really lucky on my part as well, but it was also planned sort of tactics. So I keep them there just in the top bit so that if he does come out, well, can't do a whole lot. I drop Mucker as well, so that assuming he has moved everything out, or even if he hasn't, then I can still hit the shields. So he does still have his kill team there, so I'm just trying to take them out with the Scorpions and Mucker from a distance. Still building, trying to build stuff at home, but I'm mostly just waiting for these ones to be ready to play. So the first one's almost ready to go, but I'm just focusing on these guys at the moment. Almost down. As you can see at the top as well, he does manage to get a decent push into me just here. He does also have the drop pod Death Storm, which is quite annoying, so I do lose quite a lot there. But I managed to bring my my units back up, and hopefully I can do a little bit more damage on him. I've also noticed that my Wraith Guard are pretty much ready to go now, so I can drop them in the background. He doesn't end up capturing this point either, I don't believe. I end up bringing the Scorpions in and doing a lot of damage on him. And he ends up losing Gabriel, I believe. He drops another Death Storm, which I don't know why he wasted it, because there's not a lot there. So he takes out my Scorpions, and oh, that's right. I put Gabriel in the stasis here and move everything out in the time that he's there. So you see the Webway's gone, the Bone Singer's about to dip, and the Infinity Portal's gone. and these guys are just on their way down as well. Another upgrade I also got here, which I really am happy that I got, was the soul stone thing. I can't remember what it's called, it's already gone. But I got the soul stone upgrade for these guys so that they can actually, the soul recall, sorry, so that they can recall twice. Make sure you can get that one, guys, because it is so helpful. He drops his assaults down on top of Maka, which is really annoying, but I have all of these guys here ready to piss them off, and this is where I need the soul recall, and I drop them both, and both my squads make it out safe. So that was really lucky on my part. What have I still got up there? Oh, the bone thing. Okay, so he is attacking this thing, and I can't do much about it, and I don't really care at this point either, because I'm just floating a shitload of resources, requisition, whatever, that it's not going to catch him up. So I'm basically just sending everything down, getting ready to attack. He is going to try and capture that one as well, but I send my Wraith Guard up, and I believe I send my Banshees up as well. Yeah. So he does end up hitting it, but there's not a lot he's going to be able to do about it, and he ends up leaving it there because he sees of everything I've got. I also end up dropping the Eldritch Storm on him here, and it basically just screws over his entire squad just there. So that was really good. And he basically just gave up on those 3 squads and just moves back to base and reinforces. So my army compared to his now, he's not going to be able to keep up with this so long as I can hold it off. So I end up chucking the Eldritch Storm into his base and doing a bit of damage on his machine cult, but not a lot. Bringing back all my units back down to here because luckily enough I managed to get them all out and putting both of those buildings in the cover so that hopefully they will have the cover on them and they're invisible to him and he can't do anything about them if he doesn't see them. So I'm just getting ready to push up into his base here, and this is my favourite bit coming up. Hold on. So he's getting ready to come down with his squads, as you can see there, and he can't see anything of mine just here. So I'm just going to make that. So yeah, he can't see anything of mine here, and he's getting ready to come down and push the bottom point. I'm just sitting here, just getting all my units ready to go, and all of a sudden, wait for it, he brings 3 squads in, he's like, oh crap. He's like, hell no. I'm like, well, that's pretty much all he's got at this point, so I'm just going to push in. I do hear the land speeder come out, but I'm like, oh, I'm not too worried about that. So I'm like, okay, well, we're pretty much ready to push in. I'm just going to move everything in and see what I can get. He does drop a couple of drop pods, oh, the Death Storm, sorry, and I don't know why, but he doesn't use his orbital strike. For whatever reason, he didn't use that. So I end up losing quite a lot of my Dire Avengers to that Death Storm drop pod, which is fine, because I take out the turret with the Wraith Knights and Guards, and a lot of his other buildings there, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm pretty much ready to push in now. I don't even have enough resource points there. Okay, so he does drop the orbital strike. Okay. But he doesn't end up doing a whole lot of damage with it. I don't think he really knew what to do with it either. And yeah, power core's gone. So yeah, that was a fairly good matchup on my part. I was quite happy with that one. And I would strongly recommend the Soul Stone thing for the Wraith Guard that gives you the second Soul Recall. It is so useful, as you just saw earlier in the game. Anyway, and also another thing I would like to mention as well, as I mentioned at the start, his doctrines as well. Make sure you look at them before the game, because they can screw you over if you don't watch it. Because like I said at the start, I was planning on going for the normal Dire Avenger Howling Banshee build into Wraith Guard later on. And luckily I saw his pin, and I thought what I thought was the flames, but it wasn't, it was something else. But make sure you're watching them, because if I had have done that, he probably would have whooped my arsehole. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can offer for that. Doctrines, Soul Recall, upgrades, and a vast, a vast range of different units for different reasons, or for different what's the word? Situations. That's the best I can offer there. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe because it definitely helps to continue growing the channel. And if you want to see more tutorial content, make sure you're clicking that bell thing as well. The bell thingy will let you know when I have new videos coming out straight away. And also follow me on Twitter, guys. I don't say that enough, but follow me on Twitter too. That link is in the description. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I shall see you next time.